Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. At the same time, Hong Qianye and Li Wujie landed not far from the ghost army, watching the mighty ghost creatures rushing in. Brother Hong, I am a poor swordsman, so I will show you my skills first. Li Wujie looked forward, his mouth curled up wildly, and he could no longer suppress his murderous intent. He held the hilt of the sword firmly with his right hand and pulled out the black long sword. Swish. At this moment, Li Wujie's aura suddenly changed, from a bohemian swordsman to a demon who seemed to want to slaughter all living things. Cut. The cold voice echoed in all directions. Swish, the inky black sword light swept away, turning into a huge mouth of the abyss to swallow a large number of ghost creatures. Ah! The screams were heartbreaking. Many ghost creatures were scared to death. Which human strongman did this? Just one strike, and 100,000 enemies were killed. Li Wujie exhaled heavily, and thinking back to the moves just now, he always felt that it was still a little imperfect. Boom. At this time, a terrifying momentum like a volcanic eruption came from his side. The temperature around him instantly rose wildly, making people dry their mouths. Hong Qianye mobilized the surging magic power in his body, and his black hair was flying in disorder, and his aura was very powerful. He pinched his fingers with one hand and pointed at a distance. Whoosh, the red gold flames were overwhelming, and even the void formed waves of ripples. Ah! Wherever the area covered by the red gold flames, bursts of shrill wails came, and countless ghost creatures were burned to ashes. Not good, stop it quickly. Among them, dozens of ghost generals in the fusion realm were shocked, releasing boiling ghost energy all over their bodies, and joined forces to exert their strength to resist, trying to save the situation. But their struggles were doomed to be useless. Soon, they were entangled in the flames and died on the spot. 700,000 ghost army, 400,000 were gone in the blink of an eye. It was so terrifying. Li Wujie sighed, "Senior brother Hong has such strong means, I admire you." Hong Qianye's mouth curled up slightly, feeling a little complacent. Even if that shameless guy took in a freak, I, Hong Qianye, am still the strongest senior brother. Let's fight quickly and make a quick decision, don't let people laugh at me. Hong Qianye said lightly. Swish. The next second, he was surrounded by raging flames, and he swept away with terrifying power. There was scorched earth along the way, and the scene was very shocking. Li Wujie nodded and said seriously, "Senior brother Hong is right, we can't embarrass our master." He held a long sword, flew up and performed sword skills, and fell into the ghost army and killed them indiscriminately. Under the attack of these two people, the ghost army suffered heavy casualties soon, and the number decreased at an incredible speed. If this continues, they will soon be wiped out. Seeing such a brutal scene, all the soldiers of the Great Zhou dynasty were frightened and their hands and feet were cold. Good, so strong. Several generals swallowed their saliva in their throats, and beads of sweat appeared on their foreheads. The prince's hair was numb and his facial muscles were twitching. As expected of the disciple of the white-haired killer, he really inherited his style. I thought it would be a fierce battle, but I didn't expect it to be so clean and neat. Damn it! Who are these two human beings? In the black fog in the rear, the 10 ghost generals were shocked and angry. Everything that happened in front of them made them anxious. It seems that they are the strong men worshipped by the Great Zhou dynasty. We must kill them. No matter who it is, they can't stop my ghost clan's plan. Go. At this time, Hong Qianye flashed through the air, raised his hand to kill thousands of ghost creatures, and suddenly he noticed something, followed the source and looked, sneering, "The interesting thing is coming." Boom. Accompanied by a huge rumble. 10 mighty figures emitting majestic ghost energy flew towards the sky, covered with ancient armor painted with runes, holding various swords, sticks, halberds, and other weapons. What a strong aura, this is a ghost general in the Mahayana realm. The prince and others exclaimed. The weakest one is in the middle stage of the Mahayana, and the strongest is at the peak of the Mahayana. You two human beings, go to hell. A green-haired ghost general in the middle stage of the Mahayana took the lead, holding a pitch-black halberd and stabbing fiercely. Just let me practice. Li Wujie looked excited, just wanting to test his upper limit, and couldn't wait to use his sword skills to chop. Swish. The sword light shattered the void, with the momentum of cutting off the heavens. With a puff, the green-haired ghost general couldn't believe it. He watched the halberd in his hand break. He felt a tearing pain in his chest, and then green blood spurted out. Its heart was full of fear. When did the human race's fusion realm cultivators become so strong? This kind of combat power across the realm has not been seen in the entire nether abyss for tens of millions of years. Huh? Didn't die with one sword? Then I'll strike again. Li Wujie felt embarrassed and swung his long sword with all his strength. Swish. A destructive blade flashed. Boom, the green-haired ghost general didn't even have time to scream before he was annihilated by this terrifying blade. How is it possible? The 9 ghost generals were struck by lightning. The prince and the others were dumbfounded and murmured, "Are all the disciples of Master Yi so fierce?" It's fucking satisfying. Li Wujie laughed loudly, holding a long knife and continuing to chop at other ghost generals. Kill this guy. The purple-haired ghost general in the lead shouted angrily, holding a trident and stabbing fiercely with a gloomy wind. The other ghost generals performed their killing moves one after another, and the terrifying evil spirit surged out, covering the sky and the sun, with terrifying power. Boom. After being hit by 9 energies full of evil aura, Li Wujie's face changed, and he realized that he was still too reluctant. Why not try to use the crazy bloodline? Li Wujie thought, clenching his teeth, and his eyes tended to turn red gradually. Swish. At this time, the scorching heat filled all directions, and countless green flames with sacred aura emerged. Green jade glazed fire. Hong Qianye swung his sleeves violently, and countless green flames swept away, forcibly interrupting the attacks of those ghost generals. 6 ghost generals in the middle stage of Mahayana screamed in pain, their bodies were quickly burned by the green flames, and they were annihilated in the air in a short while. Human woman, I want you to pay with your life. The purple-haired ghost general was furious, holding the trident high above his head, releasing a vast energy wave. On the trident, the violent murderous aura rushed straight into the sky, and the entire sky dimmed, as if a terrible natural disaster was about to fall. As the purple-haired ghost general was at the peak of Mahayana, if he launched an offensive with all his strength, almost no one in the entire Great Zhou could defeat him. Li Wujie's forehead was covered with cold sweat, and he quickly retreated far away, looking at the purple-haired ghost general with pity. It's too late to be afraid now. You and this stinky woman must die. Seeing this, the other 2 ghost generals in the late stage of Mahayana showed a cruel smile on their faces, and they felt that they were about to turn the tables. Hiss. Hearing this, Li Wujie gasped and retreated a few hundred meters again. As expected. An unimaginable terrifying aura erupted, making people tremble with fear. Hong Qianye's hair was flying wildly, his face was cold as frost, and his eyes were murderous. The cold and ruthless voice was full of murderous intent, echoing in the vast world. You die for me. When he raised his hand, endless black fire emerged from the void, with the power to devour everything, sweeping towards the figures with boiling ghost energy. No. The 2 ghost generals in the late Mahayana period, the fear in their eyes almost overflowed, and they were swallowed up by the strange black fire. What is this? The purple-haired ghost general was horrified, and in a hurry, he held the trident and pierced through. Chilla. The trident released countless dark purple lightning, each of which contained extremely strong destructive power. A terrible phenomenon occurred. Countless dark purple lightning bombarded the black flames, but was swallowed up completely. This is impossible. The purple-haired ghost general was so scared that his soul was about to die. After seeing this scene, he lost all his fighting spirit and turned around to flee the scene. But unfortunately, it was too late. The black flames fell on it, and the purple-haired ghost general felt that his flesh and blood, including his soul, were being absorbed crazily. This was an indescribable and huge pain.
Ah.
The screams were heartbreaking. In just a few seconds, the purple-haired ghost general disappeared completely. As for the remaining ghost creatures, they were also swallowed by the black fire one after another. On the devastated battlefield, only the whimpering of the cold wind could be heard. The soldiers of the Great Zhou looked at it in disbelief, and they were deeply afraid of the red-clothed figure with a monstrous aura. The red fairy is really a heavenly figure. The prince stammered for a while, and then uttered this sentence with difficulty. Why do I feel that this is a female devil? A general whispered, and was frightened by his colleagues and poked with his elbow, indicating that he should shut up quickly. At this time, Hong Qianye's expression gradually eased, and he sneered, an ant who doesn't know how to live or die. Hong Qianye turned his head and glanced at Li Wujie, who was hiding far away. He didn't say anything and went back to report. Li Wujie sighed, after the rage, senior brother Hong is simply invincible in the same realm. He is worthy of being the first disciple accepted by master. The next second, Li Wujie thought of something, and his right hand tightly grasped the handle of the knife. The corners of his mouth rose wildly, and his eyes flashed with excitement. This is good. If we spar, I can chop him madly. Hong Qianye seemed to have sensed something, and his back felt cold. He turned his head suddenly and found that Li Wujie had followed silently. He turned his head suspiciously and whispered to himself, was it just an illusion of this seat?